I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So, what was the rephrase your question again to Mr. President, our incoming president, our future
Oh,
president,
engineer, I heard
engineer?
you. I heard you say you're trying to be Nigeria's president, and my question is, with the
Yes.
current electoral system in place, do you think
Okay.
your ambition is possible?
It's possible. 100% positivity.
Expatiate, please.
Thank you. You see, with the current situation, we knew that it's just the way things are going on. It's just for now we can say there is uh, there is racism, there is religion issue there, and if you think about it, and apart from that, what is affecting that country is just two major things: religion and tribalism. Those are the things affecting Nigeria. But with all these things, when it comes to 2023, then that will determine if the country will be fixed or not. You understand? So, regardless of how things are going on now in that country, we know that this man, our President Buhari, is leaving. So, he's trying to pave a way for his people so they can sit there and enjoy the country oil and facilities. You understand? But what
Yeah.
we need to understand here is, regardless of all these things, Nigeria is still blessed. It's going to be tough, it's going to be hard. And this is what I always say to every youth. There is no need to fight these people, there is no need to bully them or query them. Go to them, speak to them. They are humans like us. You understand?
True.
I give you an example. If a son needed something from his dad, you can't use a violent voice to go to your dad to ask of, let's say, money. No, you have to use a calm voice to learn things from, so you to make things easy for your life. You go to your dad with a calm voice, plead with him. Your dad will end up giving it to you. So things like that, I always say there's no need to fight these people because they are in power. They can do anything they want to do. Best thing is go speak to them. If there's something you see, I like Yoruba people. I always say this thing. I like them. Yoruba, they have that culture. That culture that if they needed something from you, they would do anything in terms of dancing, doing one or two things, and they will get it from you. You understand? So things like this, we really have to sit down and look at it. When to me, I've been in Nigeria. I think among all Nigerian states, I've been to about up to 30 states. I lived there,
Wow.
so I know the people. That's why till today, till tomorrow, I keep saying it. There's no way in Nigeria I will go. I won't stay there and I won't cope. I will stay. I will do anything I feel like doing. I have to dance with the tune. If they're eating crocodile, I will join them and eat it there. You understand?
Yeah.
So what's come to us, I have to bow my head down, follow them, do whatever they're doing. I bet you, if you go to every part of Nigerian state, if you see them even eating anything, if you join them to eat, they will look at you a foreigner, but they'll be shocked that how can this guy be eating our food like this? You see, this is where you'll be buying their mindset, communication. Hmm?
Yeah.
If they're doing their cultural dance, all these things, join them and do it. They will be more happy to even welcome you. From there, they will start opening things to you slowly by slowly. You understand?
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that we have to look
So
at
I
it.
have a follow up. I have a follow up question. The
Okay.
Nigerian people are said to be some of the friendliest people in the world.
Yeah.
How come the Nigerian ethnic nationalities, all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, don't seem to get along well or have an undertone of mutual suspicion?
Okay. You see, this is what I said to you, and I'll repeat that to you again. Hmm? If you don't live with these people, if you don't go and stay with them, you won't know who they are. You understand?
Right.
My best friend married. Huh? Let me tell you this story. It's gonna shock you now. My best friend married Okrika girl. Hmm?
Okrika,
And
that's what
Okrika,
state in Nigeria?
that's
it's
okay,
towards
that's
Bayelsa area.
Ogoja. Wait.
No, Kalabari, Ogoni. Hmm?
So the
That's
South
Ogoni.
geopolitical zone.
Thank you. He married a girl from there. Hmm? And he maltreated her till the girl she left. She went back to Ogoni. He went to plead. He went to plead with her that oh she should
Yes,
come
in
back
Rivers
and
State.
yeah he went to plead. Guess what they were doing to him?
What?
Towards the evening, they start bringing a big pot. He saw people bringing big pot to the girl family home, and he saw them bringing long machete. Hmm? But when he got there, you see, this is something I always say this. When he got there, there's an old man during the wedding. He bought him all this shinap and the rest and gave it to the old man. The old man saw him and he pulled him aside. He said, we know you come for our daughter, right? But you treated her bad. And you can't treat our daughter bad and go freely. You know what he told my mate?
What?
Before the evening will cover, he showed him a bush, a desert road to run for his life. You know
Mm,
what they're trying to do?
what?
All the big pots they are bringing, all the machete is to cook him. They wanted to cook him and eat him raw. So what am I trying to say here? At Adibin, he don't communicate with that old man and buy him all those ogogoro and the rest. What do you think is going to happen? That's how we lost a friend. Now, the old man, because he saw the things, the amount of huge pots coming into the house, he was like, "Whoa, are they having a party?" Nobody even speak to him because they wanted to slaughter him for maltreating their daughter. You
Right.
understand? So God so kind, he passed through the bush and he escaped. And in part of Ogoni land, let me tell you, when you step in there, they smell a new human in that territory.
Mm.
You understand? So what am I trying to say here? You see, there are many ways to live with people. This is why I always say, anywhere I go, highest thing I'll buy is I'll buy like stomach medication to wash my belly. That's it. I'll do my best. Anything they eat, I'll go there and eat. Even though I don't like it, I have to pretend I like it. Because without doing that, trust me, it's hard, it's tough. And one of the reasons why you see people are not communicating, they hate themselves in that country, Nigeria. You see, if you don't go and see it, I don't believe in, oh, people said this guy is bad, that person is bad. No, I don't believe in that. If they said that place is bad, I will go there and find out myself why is it bad? What makes it to be bad? That's who I am. And that's my mission, honestly. So things like this, I don't get scared of nothing. 100%.
So you're saying the reason Nigerians have undertone of mutual suspicion and mutual distrust for each other is they do
Yeah.
not understand each other's cultures enough, and
E-
there's very little diplomacy involved in how they interact.
Exactly.
But do you find most of the cultures in Nigeria to be similar,
Of
cultures and
course.
traditions?
Of course.
So why
They
is it
are,
so difficult if they understand that their cultures and traditions are similar? Why is it so difficult? Why are we hearing of the Igbo self-determination movement in the southeast? Why are we hearing of Yoruba self-determination movement in the Southwest.
Okay. Let me clarify something to you. You see, when you come to the Igbos, right?
Right,
We have one language called Igbo, but we have different branches. You
right,
understand? We
right.
have different branches. But at the end of the day, they do speak one. It's just they have different kind of tune the way they speak. And if you look at
And
history,
different dialects amongst the Igbos is what you're referring
yeah, different dialect. But at the end of the day, they speak one language, which is the Igbo.
to. True.
We have
Yeah.
Anambra Igbo, we have Imo State. You see, all those people they're Igbos, but at times they do clash. You understand? Why did they clash? Because if you look at history from the forefathers is maybe because of we disagree with what King A has been doing, then King C or D will decide to pull out and will find other branches to say, okay, I don't agree with this king, I need to go on my own. This is how the tradition has been expatiated. You understand?
So,
And
so why don't they want to be part of Nigeria as a country anymore?
okay, there are two things that you need to understand why they don't want to be part of Nigeria. Look,
And
there are
why and
So
do they
let me
actually not?
interject. Let me interject. Sorry, we have Uzo on the on the screen. He's an Igbo man. Even via his name, you can tell. Do you agree to what MJ is saying, or do you have a reason why the Igbos are agitating for living, Mr. Uzo?
I have a different reason, but the thing is that what you perceive as the reason why they are doing it and what they are saying might be two different things at times. But I've always been the kind of person who says if you cannot be at peace with your neighbors, then you guys should just be civil and go your separate ways. But see my fear. Sorry, the light in here is not that bright, but I'll
No, no,
work
you're
on
yeah,
that.
fine. You're
no,
fine. Your voice is very important, so can hear you clearly. So,
Okay, thank you very much. I've
uh,
always made this a complaint that there's always a very noisy way and a very quiet way to show that, oh, we can manage ourselves, we want to be on our own. If the Southeast governors have managed their states very, very well with the little resources they get, and with for some of them who have the 30% derivation, you'll find that most people will gravitate towards home and will not even need to make much fuss about let's go our own way, let's go our own way. Agreed. True federalism would make states who generate more revenue to enjoy more from that. But even with the 13% you get and the allocation you get from the federal government, what have you done with it for your people? Most have misappropriated such money, wasted them. Now, if you waste such money that has been given to you, because the truth is that if you are given 1 million naira to run something and you waste the money, if you're giving 1 billion naira, it's the same thing you'll do. A person who cannot manage 1 million cannot manage 1 billion. Let's not deceive ourselves as regards that. And to support what engineer JM is saying, the truth of the matter is that once you now divide, we even have, let's say you even have Biafra. The problem now would be, okay, who would be from which area would we have the president or the leader of that new state? That's where the problem will be. Because even as you find the Igbos together, in fact, the typical Anambra man doesn't like the typical Imo State man, and vice versa, even in Nugu. As much as it seems,
but one would argue that's Nigeria as we have it today.
no, but that's the reality as it is for us now. That's the reality. We can't
So,
keep deceiving
are
ourselves.
you saying it's a misplaced priority? Them, saying we want to go, we want to go. It's a misplaced priority.
Not in terms of yes, in fact, you're correct. If we say priority, first thing is tidy up your place. Let the governors or the administrators of such states manage the resources they have very well first. Then you can now say, oh, if we had more resources or we had total control of this our area, then this is what will be due to us. Then we can do more for our people. If you cannot do anything for your people with the little you have, then you cannot do anything for them if you even have more. That's the truth.
So will you say now this agitation has actually take them off the route to the presidency come 2023, or you bring them closer to it? Because a lot of people will argue that that is what actually this whole noise is about, so that the country will not say yes, okay, we don't hear, we not don't try, we not deserve and take it. I
No, the
mean,
thing is,
a lot of people will see it like that.
That will
can I,
never
can
happen.
I see?
Why you say that will never happen?
Jose,
That will never
can
happen.
I come
You
in?
mean okay? Engineer, you want to say something?
Yes, you see, let me be frankly speaking to you. You see, uh, all my mates, I think I keep saying it. If I have 10 friends, eight are evils. I've been with them. I grow inside them. We do things together. See, there's something that people always say. Oh, Igbo people, they love money. They love money. Fair enough, they love money, but they have that creativity in them. I must be honest to you. You see, I always say this. If today, regardless of what happened then, there is a little bit kind of lack of trust between Yoruba to Igbo, Igbo to Yoruba. But if you look at it today, generation, you can see Igbo man will do business with Hausa man more than Yoruba. Yoruba will do business with Hausa man more than Igbo. So there's this kind of a little bit kind of lack of trust that is in between Yoruba and Igbo. You understand? Now, when you come to things like this, in terms of Igbos, this is what we are missing here. I always say, if you know Aba, if you live in Aba, you go there. If you go to Onitsha, you will see things. The only thing that Igbo man cannot do in that area is to build human being and put life into human. Apart from that, Igbo man can do anything. You understand? Look, if you come to England, look at all these fancy dresses, fancy clothes people are buying. Where do you think they're coming from? They're all coming from India. They're all coming from Bangladesh. They're all coming from all those areas. You understand? All those poor countries. So if you look at Nigerian, why are the government not pumping money into that area? Because I'm telling you, once they push in money into that area and said, you know what, guys, let's make Nigeria become Nigeria. I'm telling you, things will work for good for that country to the stage that other countries will start coming in to buy stuff and go. Because lack of communication there. Our leaders, let me start from the southern leaders. The only problem with them is greed. And that is the problem. That greed, that is what is killing them from now till tomorrow. When you put greed and you put money into your life, you forget your culture, you forget your language. Those are the things affecting the southern governors. Uh, those things,
Yeah,
without them realizing or becoming reality into their life, trust me, it's going to be hard.
yeah. Black League, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, hey, Yahaya, what are Yahaya Bello chances of becoming the president come 2023?
Well, before I get into Yahaya Bello, I also like to put some thoughts
Okay.
to add to what Engineer and Uzo just said. Well, I think the Igbo agitation for self-determination needs a deeper look into uh, the reasons behind the agitation. Because if their major complaint is, oh, criminals are running Nigeria, do they want to honestly come out and say there are no criminals in Igbo land that are part and parcel of the political structure? If the answer is no, then go ahead with your agitation. But if the answer is yes, that within Igbo land you can also find criminals
No,
among the political elite,
I, th-
then it's a Nigerian problem, not an Igbo problem.
I think what they are.
The same problem the man from Katsina is facing with his own political representatives is the same thing the man in Imo or Arambra or Enugu is facing with his political representatives. So for us, it's really a Nigerian problem. We need to have more numbers by dialoguing with other oppressed people within Nigeria.
Yeah, but sorry to interject, but I think the Biafrans are more, clamoring for inclusion. They felt that since they have not produced the number one citizen of the country at any time, from to the at least just the new dispensation, the new democracy that we are, enjoying today, quote unquote, that they have not been given a chance to be, at the top, at the
Yes,
apex of the
yes,
ship. I think that's their number one.
that's the number one agitation from the people from the southwest in general, from the southeast, my bad, in general, is inclusion in politics and governance. But the group seeking for self-determination is the IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu. He is not seeking inclusion in any way, shape, or form. He is seeking complete separation to
I,
create an independent country called Biafra. It's two different things. Now
because he saw it, because it to him it's a deliberate attempt to exclude the Southeast out of the whole, out of the apex of the, the leadership of the country. That is a deliberate attempt. So in other words, there is no hope come 40, 20, 100 years time.
okay.
The Igbo
So
man will
so
never be given a chance to become president. So what is the
right,
need of
right.
pushing? Why don't we just decide, just go instead of, putting on our energy and say, okay, we want things that will never happen anyway. And even if it happen, it might not be to their making. If you understand what I mean, it could be by the making of the one section of the group, which
Well,
by extension the northern, and so So I think that is what the person like Nnamdi Kanu and who are not ready to content with. Rather they say, well, why not we just leave and
Can
we
I
stand a
can I
better
chip in
chance.
something there, please?
Go ahead.
You see, I sent you a video regarding how Nnamdi Kanu started everything, right? If you listen to it properly, Biafrans needed to go. They started their agitation in a very, very peaceful way. Nnamdi Kanu came in and they saw he's good. They brought him in as part of the people that will handle the media aspect. But what happened? Nnamdi Kanu run faster than his shadow. And if you look, that video I sent you, everything can tell you.
Well, there's another man in charge of that aspect now, the
Your,
communication, and this I think somebody that also know very well.
so see,
Ekpa, send me on Ekpa. What do you say about that?
Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa, I'm one of his followers. Simon Ekpa is somebody that, if I'm not mistaken, he started his video, his station before even Radio Biafra. You understand? So it's like that has come to merge between Kanu and Samuel Epa. That has been merged. But the main people who started this Biafran agitation, they went through Nigerian constitution and it's under Nigerian constitution and it's something that they are processing it slowly. But when Nnamdi Kanu came in, he went above and carry on without the people, without seeking information from the same people who called him and invited him to, to take part in those agitation. So if you look at it, there are miscommunication there, and this is what I will refer to what I said earlier on. Igbo is one language, but we have different branches. You understand? And sometimes people do clash. People do like, I have friends here in the UK. There was a time a guy from Anambra accused a Igbo boy from Imo State. He said to him clearly that you are not the real Igbos. You see, so things like this, we know it's even in the Bible. You understand? This agreement between families, all this will come, all this will happen. But it's something that I always say: if people decide to speak in one voice, if people come out to speak in one voice, you see, the Igbos, if they come out to speak in one voice, things will work for good.
Let's see
This
what the Igbo man say about Simeon.
Okay, I'm guessing that's me.
Yeah, I mean, I you be the only Igbo man on screen, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Engineer
I don't
I,
know.
na
Engineer
na
or
Londoner.
maybe it could be. Maybe
Engineer
the
I
na
could
engineer na
I could
Londoner.
be Igbo. I could be Igbo too.
Well, everybody they claim Igbo now. All right, I'm an Okoro too. How about
okay.
that?
See the challenge we're having there. Like what Black League alluded to, is quite correct. Because, like I said, so far, our representatives at the National Assembly, our governors, all the people who either administer states or who legislate laws, have been betraying us in one way or the other. If they all, just as engineer just said, if they all come out with one voice and speak and support their own place and grow their own state, you find that you wouldn't even need all these things. This agitation would not even have to come up. Now, if you say, oh, the Igbo man is being marginalized, he has not been given a chance to become president. Okay, who refused him the chance of becoming president? Is it that whenever an Igbo man or some group of Igbos come together, they cannot form a party and register with INEC? Or is it that the command cannot exercise his civil right and even say, oh, I want to aspire to be president under whichever party he chooses? Now, if he's undermined because if he joins, let's give for sake of argument, let's say he joins PDP and he doesn't have enough supporters in PDP to make him win the primaries, he will not come out as the candidate for PDP. Now, let's say he goes to APC and then he doesn't have enough support there. Would the lack of support be just because he's Igbo alone, or because he doesn't have people supporting? Is it just because he has more people opposing him, or he has fewer people supporting him? The truth is that when you have fewer people supporting you, that's when you lose. It's not the opposition you even have that is the important thing there. It's the people behind him. Just as engineer said, when there's too much division in the east, everybody wants to be a king. Everybody wants to have his own. You don't have the same kind of division in the north or even in the west. And that's what the North is taking advantage of. They know that there's this separation and this suspicion and hatred between, let me say hatred in quotes, between the Yorubas and the Igbos. Even though some of them mix, so they do business, live together, crisscross and all that. But the thing is that when it comes to issues like this, principal issues like this, they never agree. And because they never agree, the North will continue to produce the president. Why? Even from the distribution of the number of voters in the geopolitical zones we have, you find that 60% already goes to the north. So if the north at any time produce a consensus candidate, that candidate would most likely win. That's to like answer your initial question. If this man comes,
Oh yeah,
Yahaya Bello
Yahaya Bello. Yeah.
comes out, of
What is
course he
his
would win.
chance?
No, this
So
chance is he has a greater chance of winning than any other person who comes out from any other
I
region. That's the
mean, some people will say that he's a novice. He's just coming
no,
into the
this is
system
not the
and
issue. That's not the issue. When Donald Trump became president, he did not take
inexperienced.
a chance. He became president, and it was simply because the particular support he got was massive. Now, if Yahaya Bello comes out, depending that, let's say for instance, he comes out as the consensus candidate of APC, and he wins the primary of APC, then you know he will naturally become the president. The South cannot be so united enough to now pose a challenge against him to now make him lose, even with the number of percentages you must get in 26 states or is it
What of
24 states.
if the South, by extension, go with PDP and produce a northern candidate? Let's say Aminu Tambawa, for instance, or Atiku Abubakar,
No, I don't see that
or Erufai decide to join PDP and they flag the flag. So you don't see that
I don't
happening.
see that. No, I don't see that happening. Except if maybe PC never produce
PDP,
any.
no, remember, PDP want power too by every means necessary now. If
That's
APC decide to go for Yahaya, they might decide to go for Tambawa, Erufai. I
and
mean,
who
you
would then
can
be
name
the running
their
mate? Who would then
to
be the running mate? A Yoruba man or an Igbo man?
I mean, from any of these, a Yoruba man, a South South man, or an Igbo man.
It depends on who is presented as the running mate of Yahaya Bello. From that's I'm assuming he comes from APC, for instance. Let's assume he comes from APC, and they feature an Igbo man as his running mate. What it means is that in the South, you cannot feature an Igbo man as your running mate because it will mean splitting the votes of the Igbos.
I mean, that is the whole point. If they know that they have upper hand, that their candidate have upper hand in the North, why don't split the Igbo votes to their own
No,
advantage?
if they split it, they won't win now. The person in the North will win because all the Northerners will vote for the Northern person.
No,
The
if
Igbos will
no,
vote for
okay. Listen to my question. Oh, Yahaya APC. Let's say Yahaya clinch the APC ticket, right? The ticket, right? Then
yeah.
PDP decided to say because of that they are going for Aminu Tambawa or El Rufai or Atiku, who is also from the North.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, we can't. I guarantee you, if it is a Tambawa, let we say Tambawa will have the upper hand in the North over Yahaya Bello.
That's
Now,
well, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Now the battleground now it will now be who is going to get the Yorubas. So it would make sense if the PDP go for a deputy from a Yoruba extraction, or go to the same Igbo. It depends on their stronghold in the Yoruba land.
Mm-hmm.
Because already PDP has what two out of five, or be 3 out of 5 states in the east, if I'm not mistaken. What Abga get out of the 5 states.
Mm-hmm.
So I think TPP they get upon. So I don't think there is even them bringing a successor from a vice president from there will actually make sense. Yes, it will split the vote for the APC if they decide to feed a deputy president for Igbo extraction.
Yes, but if you look at the distribution of the voters, there's the perceived or the supposed registered voters from these geopolitical zones, northwest, north central, northeast, and let's just use only those ones. It is already 60% of whoever of the total number of votes. Now, dude, that's what I'm saying. Whoever comes out as consensus candidate of the north, whether you use a Yoruba man as your, if you use a Yoruba man as your running mate, you most
Yes,
likely get 66% of the
but
votes. Two
you
votes
made a
count.
point.
Now,
You made a
If you use an Igbo man, if you use an Igbo man, the only thing you can be sure of is that you may not get any vote from the West. If the PDP, the opposing party now, happens to brings a consensus candidate also, but who's a northerner with a Yoruba man as his running mate, you now find that that's the only time they may pose a challenge. But then the APC person, the Igbo and the Hausa man from APC, would still win, so long as it's a northern candidate.
Can I can I chip in something?
now, but you sorry before you TP, you made point earlier on that followership matters a lot. That the amount of people who are following you, right?
Yes.
As it is now, the young people of Nigeria, even though Yahaya Bello is a young person, they don't seem to see him as somebody who will reflect their color. One, because to them he hasn't done well in the state as a governor, and two, he's somebody is a nobody according to a lot of the larger part of Nigerian youth saying this man not be the man. It will be the same like the ones that were before. So wouldn't that affect that is followership?
No, that might affect the followership. But mind you, how many times, let's be very honest, how many times have Nigerians actually voted for somebody based on credibility in terms of what the person has done? Most of the time, they vote along the line of that's
But
majority. I'm not
then
talking about
Buhari
people
was
who
Buhari first time
I'm, I'm not
first.
talking about I'm not talking about maybe a few educated people. I'm talking about the majority of people who are not educated, who
Buhari
voted
was
out
voted
of
for
like
because it
pride,
was based
pride
on
and religion.
integrity.
Yes,
Buhari
now
was shown to us as a man of integrity in 2024, 2014 and 2015. And we
but
massively voted for him because of based on that alone. That, he's not corrupt. He has integrity. They voted for him based on that.
yes, but most of the people who voted for him didn't vote for him because of integrity.
They
Most of
voted
those
to
people,
they voted
yes,
they voted good luck out instead.
yes, they just voted a good luck out. That was just what happened. They just because most the typical northerner is not that so much concerned about integrity as much as they're concerned about somebody who's their person who knows that this person would have our
What's their
interest
power?
at heart. Apologies to anybody in the house, but this is not intended to make anyone feel
No,
But
no, 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 no. This is
majority, largely, most Nigerians up till now, sorry to say, but it seems to be the truth. Most votes these days are cast based on sentiments of either tribal sentiments or religious sentiments. That's why we are still talking about Hausa man and Igbo and Yoruba and all these things. We are not talking about somebody who has a good track record or somebody who has proved himself a decent person. Mind you, we are still talking about a
so.
tribe.
Will you call the? Will you not based still on that space? Will you call the 19 governors who came out and say the presidency must come to the south as clowns? Then, I mean, based on
17, 17
That's
17,
governors.
17 governors. Sorry, based on
that's
what you are
that's
saying now,
that's
that they are just not makers.
that's just political talk. The true intention will be displayed during the party, just before the party primaries. That's when you know what their real intention is. Right now, they are just saying it for the sake of making things calm. You should understand that.
Okay. Black League. Are you or you do agree with Uzo based on Yahaya, what he said on Yahaya, that it's not a very good chance to, you know, to clinch the presidency based on.
Yes, Yahaya Bello has, as of today, he has a better chance. He has, I would say top three, and he's stopping the likes of Tinubu, even though they might have. Yeah, I'm talking
That's
APC. I'm talking APC politics. Yes,
yes. You are talking
yes.
of. I mean, there's no way PC
First
without
of all,
Tinubu.
look at the trajectory of Yahaya Bello. Yahaya Bello started out as a PDP member.
Okay.
He contested the elections in APC. He lost out. He had already concluded his move to the PDP when they called him and gave him the ticket. When the original man on the ticket passed away while the results were still being counted. So
Okay.
if you're going
That's
by the law,
Abubakar
they
Ref.
should have. Yeah, if they're going by the law, they should have made the deputy governorship candidate. He should automatically be the governorship candidate. That's the person of Honorable James Faleke.
That's Tinubu's boys too. Was once.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm going somewhere. Tinubu
Okay.
supported him. Tinubu made him get that ticket as deputy governor. He was by right supposed to be the governor, but they brought Yahaya Bello from a different party into the APC. That the first thing that is showing you is they're showing Tinubu who's boss in party politics.
Of
He
course.
thought he would have control, having his man there, Oshomole. And he
Mm,
thought the agreement was Buhari and his team will run the government, while he, Tinubu, and his team will run the party. He started that way the first few years, but then he lost grip. The Yahaya Bello factor was one of the most deciding factors for him to see that his own quote unquote political godson could not become governor. And the APC stalwarts nationally went for a PDP member in Yahaya Bello. So Yahaya Bello knows that it's almost like a miracle that he's governor, that he was elected as governor because he wasn't even in the party. He will definitely be loyal to Buhari, the sitting president, and the APC stalwarts who made that possible for him. There is no way 2023 those men will not be looking at him. First of all, politicians listen to the everyday people. They listen to what's going on. Don't be surprised if they're listening to this show right now. They want to know what the views are. Even if it's contrary to their views, they want to know what the views are. They know that Nigerians have been clamoring for a young president, young meaning under 50.
that's true.
Yahaya Bello is just turned 45 probably a month ago.
Okay.
He will still be under 50 as of 2023. That's their best shot because they are now looking for somebody who Nigerians will not see them because Nigerians have painted them with a religious brush, saying, oh, this is not just religious, religious and regional. So Nigerians have
By
over
extension,
the years,
extremists too.
Yes, Nigerians have painted them with that brush of being a northern Muslim party that is Muslim and they only panted to the core north. So now
Mm.
is the chance for them to bring somebody from the quote unquote middle belt area. Lokoja is right almost at the heart of Nigeria. That's called the middle belt. He is not a Hausa man. He is not a Fulani man. He's Ibera.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are his chances. Uzor rightly said, Nigeria as we have it today, rightly or wrongly, the style of politics panders to religion
But let me
and
let me
region.
let me interject there. Uzo also made one a point that the block of the vote largely lies with the northern part. Now, if APC settle for Yahaya Bello, who is an Igbira man, yes, it will have the support of the presidency as it is. But what if APC decided to go for people like person like Erufai, Tambawa, who are core northerners? Now,
You said the APC,
uh,
Tambuwal is in the
AB,
PDP.
PDP, sorry, if APC settle for Yahaya, PDP decide to go for Erufai, Tambawa, those alike. So what do you think it's going to be look like then? Knowing the pattern, which and based on what Uzo just analyzed, how they vote, based on how they the history tell us that they care about who is in power, who care for them, not necessarily, but that by the side, they are still very, very much very sentimental to who their person is, somebody they can relate to, regardless of how the rest of the world that person is saying. Just example by Buhari, the whole world can say Buhari is not qualified. What about they see him as their hero? Do you think that that kind of scenario might play out and APC might end up losing the presidency if they choose that route?
If the hypothetical situation is APC opting for Yahaya Bello and PDP bringing El Rufai or a Tambuwal to stand against Yahaya Bello in the general elections 2023, if that happens, I see PDP cruising to victory. Why? Because PDP, as we have it, they're the most desperate party right now in Nigeria. APC is not as desperate as the PDP because APC have they've reached their goal. The
But
whole, the
now,
APC, let me conclude this thought. APC is not one political party. It came as a merger. And they are still standing in formation just like they came in. There is still the new PDP in APC. There's still the fraction of ABGA led by Okorocha. There's still the CPC led by the sitting president and the likes of Malami, the current Minister of Justice. So there's still APC led by Tinubu. So they are still in their fragmented formations pretending to be a merged party. There's still a lot contending. The PDP was designed for power. That's what they believe. The PDP was created in 98. In 99, they came to power. They don't know anything outside of power. They left power in 2015. They are at their most desperate point because they don't even know how to play opposition politics. All they know is power. If they see any chance to clinch the presidency, they will forget Southern presidency faster than the blink of an eye
That's
and
the
go
thing.
for a northern and go for a north. They are all looking for power. Why are you in politics if power is not the goal?
It's
They
true.
understand that perfectly. That's the moves they're making. If you notice, they are not even making any noise. They are not talking about 2023. They are just sitting in their rooms watching APC. What APC is gonna do? If APC brings out Yahaya Bello, they can easily call their former member Erufai, say come back home,
now,
contest. Or
now,
they will go with their sitting member who is Tambuwal. Tambuwal is the executive governor of Sokoto
Sokoto
State. That
State.
is the current seat of the caliphate. the Muslim caliphate we all refer to in the north.
Mm,
Sokoto is their capital.
that's
How do
true.
you see a Kogi state governor in Yahaya Bello defeating, as you said, the North controls 60 to 65% of the total votes?
Mm,
If
yes,
that happens, all you need to win presidential elections in Nigeria is win majority in 4 out of the 6 geopolitical zones. The North already has 3. All they need is pick one from the South. The South
that's
South
true.
has always been willing. There's zero agitation for self-determination in the South South. They are quiet, watching the Igbos and Yorubas side to side. They already know the game plan. If it goes in that way, all the North has to do is make an alliance with the South South. They cruise to victory with relative ease. It's not going to be a difficult election for them.
Mm.
Now,
Can I
yeah, okay, go ahead.
let me start from Yahaya Bello. Hmm?
Oh, okay. I thought. Sorry. So before you hold that, let me conclude this here because Uzop make a point with the vice president. So aren't you going to factor the vice president that is going to play out Black League?
How do you mean the vice president?
Now,
No, he
if
means
the
the running
yeah
mate of
running mate to Yahaya, running mate to Tambawa or Erofa, are they not going to play a factor to the election?
Yeah, it will not play a major factor. Yes, it will play a factor, but it won't be a major one. Why? Because we all pander to who is president. The president determines what the duties of the vice president will be. So everyone is just focused on that one seat, the presidency. It might matter a little bit. The PDP might decide to go to South South, but an Igbo influenced area in the South South. Pick somebody like Wike, Ikwere and Igbo, there's very little difference. So Wike can easily pander to the Southeast. Easily. Wike can make an alliance with the Southeast, tell him, I am your son. Speak the language to
You
them,
don't yeah
their
you don't deny
languages.
them. Now I say no
He
be Biafran.
understands, Wike understands Igbo more than some Igbos do. So Wike can just use that. They already know that. And it's already,
Yeah,
these
you're right.
plans are things already in place. It's just not broadcasted yet to media.
All
okay,
right, go ahead.
that's true.
Okay. Can I just let me just start from Yahaya Bello before I jump to Wiki as well. See, when you come to Yahaya Bello, this is what see this Yahaya Bello. I must be honest to you, and I'll bet with anything. Yahaya Bello is not going to nowhere. He's not going to win nothing. Absolutely nothing. The reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm saying this
Okay.
is the same man that denied his state servant about 24 months of not paying them their wages. Regardless of that, they rigged his second term to come into the seat. We all see what happened. We can clarify everything. So that's to tell you he's one of the people. You see, all the 36 states that we have, the governors, there's what we call, they normally give them state budget. And apart from giving them state budget, there's another money they do give to them. That one is like they call it maintenance something. You understand? Look, there was a time Yahaya Bello, they haven't given him that money. What did he do? He came out publicly and said there's no corona issue in Kogi State. He fight everything to say there's no corona case in that state. And you see, there are things that we should be seeing from different angle. This thing happened to Wike. Wike has been fighting till the time that okay, he said something good about Buhari. Money has been released to him. That's when Wike started action of corona crisis, corona this, corona that, start locking up. He himself start going on the street dealing with people. So what am I trying to say here? When you come to in terms of Yahaya Bello is just there for now. After this tenure, he is not going nowhere. It's just waste of time. You see, these people that you call them, these Nigerian leaders, they are into money. They are into the country wealth. They are into that siphoning that money. They already sit down and think. We are the masses. We are busy chanting, hoping that things will change. These people are busy discussing how they can sort themselves out, who they're going to put into that power, who is going to control.
Nine be the thing now. They might say, okay, oh,
So,
that question might be who want put for power. They might decide to carry Bello and put there.
exactly. Now,
So
with
why you say no stand chance?
this issue of what is happening now that Malami is going to Igbo land or making calls or calling Igbo calling him, all these things. See, when it comes to reality, I can bet money down, right? I can bet money down. When it comes to 2023, president will be Northern, vice will be Igbo, Senate will be Yoruba. That's it. That's how they will shut people's mouth. That is it. And what will people do? Nothing. Nobody will do nothing. Let's be realistic. These people, they know what they're doing. I'll always keep saying this because
So
these
you know.
people are smart. They can weigh the masses, they can weigh the hungry lions in every.
So you know
But can
give
I
Yahaya Bello chance at all.
No, no, no.
can I
Let's forget about that. That one is a dime matter. Yahaya Bello, I can bet you with anything. Yahaya Bello is not going nowhere.
okay,
Nowhere.
let me, can I
100%.
come in here?
Oh yeah.
Can I come in here?
Yes, yes.
I want to continue from, though what engineer just said now is quite funny. Uh, even though that might happen, actually, that's to have a northern president, an Igbo running mate. I don't know what may happen at Senate. That one I can't really predict to that extent. But it will not come from the ruling party. Such a move can only come from PDP, that's the opposition, who usually are the hungry ones who come out at election time. Normally, the people in power are not so eager, they are so comfortable. Those who are desperate, who will come out on voting day to vote en masse and make all the fuss, are the ones in opposition, those who are waiting, those who have been waiting and who are hungry for it. And I see more of PDP people coming out to make efforts to make that change they want. And if anybody is going to feature an Igbo candidate, as of course not as the primary candidate, I mean as the principal candidate, but as a running mate, is PDP. APC will not do that. They will not. The future will be to pander. It will always be to pander to the place they have more of their parties, and that will be a
So
northern,
can I
southwest.
can, can I say something?
Yeah,
You see,
sure.
yeah, don't be surprised before 2023, you Winke will go back to APC. Now, now people are
Oh, why you dey
increasingly
disrespect? Why una dey disrespect Wike like this? Wike whole PDP na so una dey tell am say you go
I'm
where you wan dey
telling
come go.
you, story can
First of all,
change.
Blacklist say Wike na Biafra man. That's a result to Wike. They will come after you. It's not
No,
an
no,
Igbo
no,
man.
no,
Let
No,
no,
her
no,
no.
will
no, no,
let
no,
it
no.
come.
Wike has said numerous times publicly. Yes, I have affiliation and I have a good relationship with Igbo. Although I am not Biafran, I will never deny my relationship with Igbos. He's talking about blood relationship.
Hmm.
So he knows he's one of them, although he doesn't stand with the Biafra movement. He has said
That
this
is it.
several times.
He can't even do that now.
But I'm telling you, when it comes to reality, listen, these people, they know what they're doing. Like I said, I'll keep repeating myself. They will weigh it because they will use one Igbo man, whether Wike or someone else, so they can penetrate that Southerners and they will still wear the same clothes they wear Buhari for.
And Wike is a politician to the core
Thank
and is
you.
capable.
You
You've
mean
never had
you mean this kind
Wike.
uniform? You mean this kind uniform wey dey wear Buhari so?
Exactly.
Yeah.
These people are smart enough. I'm telling you. Yes, they will say, oh, vice president, oh, from Igbo. Come on. It's like a little bit relief. You understand? The vice president will come out, oh, Biafra, don't worry. We'll
and
get there. We'll get there.
and
Oh, it will happen. Ah,
And if Wike were to work with any politician to be vice president to him, I don't see that politician being anybody but Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State,
thank you. Thank you.
because they have a personal relationship.
Thank
They've
you.
been they've been friends for years. They understand each other. Why I say that is Wike is one of the most ambitious politicians you have in Nigeria, as we have it. So presidents
But
don't usually pick
how?
ambitious vice presidents. So the only way Wike can come out as a vice president, if not, look at all the vice presidents we had. The only one that was ambitious out of all of them was Atiku Abubakar, and he had problems with the president while in office. Before
Exactly.
2003, they just got elected in 99. They had problems. So everybody, every real politician studies politics and history and pattern in politics. So they understand that it has happened in our recent history
Mm-hmm.
before. All of them were adults when it happened. So they are not likely to repeat that. The only way it will happen if he comes with a personal friend like Tambua.
Wait, I have two questions here. To Uzo, then to Black League. Uzo, you say they no go ever agree to carry Igbo man as their vice. But it has happened before now, during the Shagari and Alex Ekweme, if I'm not mistaken. Then Black League. Now, the PDP, we will so many times we dey focus on APC, of course, obviously because na dem dey in power. The PDP as it is, you have mentioned a very formidable force, which is Tambawa and Wike for obvious reason. But the biggest hurdles wey dem get for there is Atiku. He's as equally ambitious as ever. He has the money, he has the reach. How dem go take negotiate am? You think what happened 2 years ago in Port Harcourt, where they were able to give it to Atiku at the expenses of that formidable people. Do you think it's still going to happen again come 2022?
Well, they are all politicians that have been in the game for a while. So they understand how it works. Yes, it could happen for them to make a deal with Atiku again. Just like Wike said after 2019 election. He said, yes, I worked against Atiku before the primaries. I did not support him, and I told him to his face that I will not support him. But later on, when even without my support, he was able to get the ticket, I had to work for him because I'm a party man. We had to make a deal, and I worked for him. So I see that scenario, if Atiku is to come and play, is for it because they've garnered more strength than 2019, the Wike Tambua group.
That same party has Saraki, who is equally ambitious. Now, if APC, particularly they gave it to Yahaya Bello, don't you think it would make sense for PDP to give it to Saraki, being the fact that they are almost from the same region?
No.
And it's also, I mean, you will see, well, not be young man, I mean, it's still happy to the young people too, Saraki.
Yeah, Saraki belongs to the Atiku family, but he's also very ambitious. So he can be running on the same ticket with that. He can be gunning for the same seat in the primaries as Atiku, but ultimately he will work for Atiku. He has always worked for Atiku. There's never a time where he didn't work for Atiku.
Now, there's a possibility of if they decide to give it to Yahaya Bello, that Atiku, Tinubu might decide to say, okay, I'm taking another route by forming another party, or don't you see that happening?
I think Tinubu, because Tinubu is also a very grounded politician.
His riches,
Yeah, he's one of the top grounded politicians we have
yeah,
in Africa as we have it.
he has that much
So
power.
Tinubu understands that his chances are slim, regardless of how much money he has. He knows his chances are slim. It's the people under him that are really desperate. That's why they are pushing him, because if they don't push him forward, them too, they will not step up. So they have to push him forward in order for them to step up in the political ladder.
Hmm.
Those are the guys, because Tinubu knows his best chance is to maintain Oshimbajo as his man. Oshimbajo has proven loyalty to him since his days as commissioner in Lagos State. So even with the vice presidency that is higher than any seat Tinubu has ever attained, he still shows loyalty to Tinubu, who politically should be under him.
Of course.
Politically, he should be under him, but he still shows loyalty to him. So he knows his best chance is to maintain Oshimbajo and support him to run. Oshimbajo has enough charisma and uh, he can be advised to work with the right people and use diplomacy to reach other regions in Nigeria. And he will have a way better chance than Tinubu could ever have. Tinubu himself knows this, but I'm telling you, the people around him
I
are
don't.
super desperate.
I don't even subscribe to the idea that Tinubu could even win at all. But even Oshibajo, I think it's just an equally low chance of him winning because he wouldn't command the kind of support that he needs to clinch a ticket as a primary, as a principal person, whether in PDP or even in APC, no matter what happens. For some funny reason, I think
Is it support from the elite or support from the masses
even
that is going
both
to
from
lack?
the elite, both even from the elite or from the masses, he's not going to get it. I think the reason is because Tinubu seems to think he has control over APC more than he thinks he does. But I think deep down with him, he realizes that he doesn't really have the kind of control over APC nationally as he thinks he does. Now, over the Southwest, one could say, okay, maybe. But let's not really speculate. The fact of the matter is that with the openings we have now, usually there's more force coming from opposition and from the party that has been wounded that really wants to get back to power. Just as Black League said, PDP are the ones who are really desperate and hungry now for power. And I see them featuring a candidate. The thing is, right now, they still have lots of people to pick from. But I know that it will pay them to pick a running mate from the southeast or even from the south. Whether it's Wike or whether it's somebody else. So, but I think Wike is somebody who could gather enough support. Already people know him. Some people might not even like him, but I think he already has some degree of popularity, which will help the principal to get the kind of vote he needs. So whether it's Tambuwalo, whether it's somebody else, whoever PDP features, who happens to be a consensus candidate for PDP, all they have to do is attack somebody like Wike or somebody with Wike's kind of credentials, and they will give a real formidable challenge to APC. So long as they have their strategies well in place. And most of the time when we speak like this, mind you, there are certain factors we don't keep put into consideration, and that's the power of the incumbent. Now, whether for the purpose of running or for the purpose of supporting somebody who is there, he's not going to go anymore. So it has to be somebody he may want to support. Now, if he is so desperate in wanting a candidate to the point that they are prepared to rig the elections again, and that, of course, or the APC already has the judiciary in their pocket. So whichever what's it called, tribunal or anything you take election results to, you would lose as an opposition. That's the truth. As long as you have this in your pocket. So that's one factor which we must not close our eyes to. If Nigeria has developed in terms of their election being secret to the point that majority of votes cast is what actually reflects in the result, then we could say, oh, PDP, whoever they come with, they are going to win. But it's not necessarily so. They are going to form a formidable force. That I know for sure because they are hungry to get back to power, especially what we've been perceiving. But I see a northern and southern combination, not west, southeast combination, a northern and southeast combination from it. Whoever will come out, only God will know that one. But that's what I see, and that's what I perceive will be their greatest chance of getting that power back.
That's what they will do. This is what I keep saying.
Quick,
They will do.
quick question. Quick question. When you say southeast, do you extend that to the south or strictly
Of
northern
course.
and southeast?
No. I mean, even to south. Anybody there, even from Bayelsa or from Cross River or Rivers or
Okay.
yes, that's the south. I mean that's section of the southeast.
See, these people, they know what they're doing. I keep saying it. With this tension that is going on in that country, they will definitely, vice will definitely come from Igbo land. Vice. 100% guarantee. They will use the vice to calm every situation regarding Biafra in Nigeria. This is what they will do. Because these people are too smart. They will weigh it. They will weigh the masses where
I
they
think
fall.
I yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
go on.
yeah, not to cut you. Okay. I think what Uzo is saying is right about the northern and south alliance. I don't think it will come from the southeast. It might, but it might go to the south. Because looking at what President Buhari said, the dot in the circle comment towards the IPOB, if you're looking at it as a political statement, that means I already have an alliance with the South South. That's all it means.
Yes, that they could do without the southeast.
Yes, that we could do without the Southeast or in every regard,
Yes.
if it's economy or political. That's exactly what it means. That he already has that alliance. So the Saudis could dance however way they want to dance. They're not gonna get no attention from it.
So, engineer say no hope for Yahaya Bello at all. You agree
Nah,
with that?
please, please. Anybody who is putting hope
No,
there.
no, no, no. Yahaya Bello has a good chance, but I think Yahaya Bello himself is doing it for him to be a part of the Federal Executive Council in 2023. Not really the president.
That
A
one,
ministerial office, will calm him down or something. He himself knows that.
they will consider putting him there. And
But
I
he
bet
is
you,
still a top contender as we have it today.
they
He's
will,
he's
they
he's
will
he's practically the most active as we have it today.
obviously. What do you expect? What do you expect? There's what they've said. Not he who start the race will finish the race. That's just something we need to know from Nigerian
True,
politicians.
true.
Because they
I
are
don't think he'll finish the race, but I think he'll go far and he will
yeah,
achieve his aim
either
to be
senators
part
or
of
senator,
the.
just like you said. They will
Yeah.
end up giving him minister of road and just like the way Amechi is. That's the
Yeah.
position maybe you end up
So
giving.
then, if somebody from uh, maybe an El Rufai becomes a candidate, they might pair him up with the likes of Amechi from the South South, since both parties will be looking at both regions, the North and the South South. So El Rufai might come out with an Amechi, while Tambuwal will come out with Amechi's biggest
Wike,
rival,
with
Wike.
Wike, yeah. I think you just made the point. You just nailed it. This is what is going to happen when it comes to 2023. That is it. I'm telling
Because
you.
that they know
Because
that would
the
vote for
Biafra issue, they will do anything to make sure a South is there to pamper Biafrans and to give them that kind of politician voice. Don't worry, we're getting there. Since you guys started all this, now we're heading to vice president. Before you knew, we take over. All this language,
because
not
because
the
they
figure of the
know
language, man.
PDP knows they will always get about 48% of their votes in the Southwest. They will share those votes with Tinubu just like they've almost been sharing it. It's almost half they're taking. They know that Tinubu's reach in the Southwest, I think, is exaggerated. I'm talking politically, is exaggerated. Why? Because how else do you have political knowledge and project for the future? You look at the past. In every election that Tinubu was said to have a stronghold in the Southwest, his margin of victory it never exceeded 5%. He always came close to losing. Always came close to losing. Even Lagos, where he was governor. So the PDP are calm. They already know nothing will change this election. They're gonna get close to half of the Southwest. That's already in the bag. If you're going by political voting pattern, just looking strictly at the number.
one thing is for sure. Even because the more you think about it, the Southeast will not vote for APC no matter what. So they can even afford not to even get anybody at all from the Southeast. Not even bother. They could get anybody from the South South. Just and then put because they know for sure the users would rather vote for the PDP with somebody in the South South than vote for the party that has called them a dot. So that one alone summarizes what will most likely happen. So I guess the
Yeah.
challenge here will be the principal. The
And
main will be
and
the
yes, and I don't know. I've heard people saying a lot. I've heard this circulate in the narrative that Tinubu was the one who made Buhari president. That is categorically false. That is categorically false. The votes Tinubu got in Lagos, the president got double that in Kano, got double that in Kaduna, got double that in in several northern states. So how can you say Tinubu brought the president in? I've heard that and I didn't hear it from here, but I've just heard it in the Nigerian uh, political space that Tinubu is responsible
Well,
for
he was
bringing
able to
and
gallivant the
and
elites from.
the northerners know that Tinubu's influence is highly exaggerated. They know that. That's why they kicked him off power easy within the party structure. They know how many votes he brought. All they look at is numbers. They know that they can make up for those votes that he claimed to bring in one state in the north. They can even get double that. So they are not worried about Tinubu politically. And they know that they can use his most trusted allies against him. The likes of the former governor and current minister. He's the Minister of Interior, Areba Shola. He
Mm.
was Tinubu's number one right hand man. They're already using him against him. They gave him a really huge ministry to take care of, keep him busy first.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. So I don't even see Tinubu like his name going really far. And yeah, he might put up a good fight because he's a respected politician. He knows about politics, and for that reason itself is what I'm using to say that he knows his chances are slim. He's been in politics long enough to know.
that's true. And I don't think he will waste his time and money on something he knows he
This
will
is
lose.
when it comes to Nigerian business because now is normal politician. I can call it business because it's business. These people they know what they're doing and
It's business, but the people own the business. The
yeah,
president is only the CEO hired by the
exactly. It's just the CEO, just like you said. It's the business. More
is the CEO that has a
No,
maximum of eight
I
years
think
to run the company.
Tinubu's why people are saying Tinubu's has a lot to do with Buhari victory is not just on the votes per se, but he was able to galvanize around the elite from the southwest to support Buhari. I think that's where his credit is largely coming from, not necessarily the individual count of votes that
no.
yeah.
Tinubu, yeah, he has contributed to Buhari success because if you look, not every Yoruba like Buhari. Let's be honest to ourselves. You understand? But since Baba Tinubu come out and he remember Tinubu is Muslim, Buhari is Muslim, they will speak in that language. If you're my brother, you're my brother. That's the kind of language they will speak. And when Tinubu said to people, it's our brother, we have to vote for him. So things nobody will say to Tinubu, no, we're not gonna do it. So it's business. It's business. They know what they're doing. But 2023, all the best. We'll be here watching things and we'll know what to do. That's just the fact. But for me, one day I will rule. I'll become Nigerian president, whether the devil like it or not. And I believe people like Blacklist and Obey, I'll bring you guys in.
Uzo,
For sure, for sure.
Also, MJ is aiming for
Engineer for
the
president.
presidency
Oh
within
yes, oh
the.
yes.
So watch out for him. According to him, he's going to become
No,
a councillor first
I'm
and
telling
move up
you,
from there.
this is not just for saying it. I will chase everything in that country. When it comes to in the next 8 years or 10 years, you will see clearly. I will relocate. I will sell one of my property here. That's it. Then anytime, anytime. Honestly,
That sounds
I will
very
make
funny.
that move because I can speak.
But
So now me say
but
the first thing
but
where you go to now to get your property back when you assume office.
Huh?
Now me say that the first thing where you go do now to get your property back, in fact, in double folds before you face the country affairs. Eh?
Not
Now your
really.
plan be that.
No, not really. To be honest, not really, because my kids over here just
Okay,
because
why you are sit there? Why you are sit there? Mo just round up. Let's take a while. Let's now. The main question is that. So, do you believe that the Nigerian youth will rally, should rally around Yahaya Bello or not towards 2023? Is it their best chance to produce a youth president? Now, from as a young person now, do you think we
if
should support him?
if today I don't know the history of Yahaya Bello, I will 100% say okay, you should go and support him. But I know the history of Yahaya Bello, and I can tell you vividly, with wholeheartedly, let's not waste time in doing all these things because it's not going to take place. That's just the truth. That's what I can say for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
but come back again.
Is that?
Come back again.
You want me to repeat myself
I
again?
say, no, 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 no. Come back to the show again.
Definitely, I will.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will.
Rosuzo,
What time do you normally come on air?
man, I go link you anytime I want come. I never did. But I think this is a good time. If what do you
Yeah,
guys think?
yeah, but the thing is, 4 hours stretch is too long. The thing is, even beforehand, we could decide on what we would discuss, and then I think 1 hour should be enough for whatever discussion. Even if
yeah, I think 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes for now. If it goes long, 1 hour 30 minutes.
What about twice a day, morning, afternoon, and night for me?
No, if it's twice a day, then it should only be 1 hour.
yes,
Okay.
No, my time here is 9:20, 2023.
Some people take time to make their point. So by the time it goes round, 1 hour don't pass. Some person if it take 30 minutes, you know. So, but I understand 1 hour, 2 hour now, you know, we should be around that
Let me
time. I
just
think one
say
hour too.
maximum, let's say maximum 2 hours, regardless of any discussion. Then minimum 1 hour 30 minutes or so.
I think it should just be centered around an hour. Then maybe if for any reason maybe issues get heated up or certain points need to be put forward, we could make it an hour 15 minutes. But it shouldn't exceed 1 hour 30 minutes, no matter what. Because most of the points we want to put through, we can put them through even within an hour. Except maybe in a scenario where we have too many people participate. Maybe we have like maybe more than five or so. I don't know if the platform can take more than five.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
this we can take as many as 10.
Then
So
that's
yeah,
when you now say, okay, for sake of the number. But even then, you could always say, okay, for whoever's contribution is coming up, you make it brief, you speak for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. With the thing is, we should be conscious of time.
that's true.
Right.
So, do you think the youth should throw their weight behind the hire or
That's what I wanted to answer now. It shouldn't be a matter of,
Also, please, before you answer, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Your mic seems a little low. Sometimes it's louder,
Take
but
that
for
far
now,
from
He's
your mic.
driving, I
yeah, it
guess.
seems a little low. Okay,
Maybe.
maybe you're driving.
Okay, that's me. You can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yes, it's perfect now.
Okay. The idea of the youth supporting somebody shouldn't just be supporting them for the sake of being a youth. I've never really liked that idea of supporting people for things that have nothing to do with their integrity or with what they have to offer. Whether the person is a 70-year-old or the person is a 25-year-old, if somebody coming out is somebody of integrity and the person has something to offer, has ideas, and somebody who is mindful. Okay, it's a pity Wike is not such a small boy. If Wike was much, much younger, I could easily support him to, to run Nigeria, if you get what I mean. But the thing is, let's not just look at it as just supporting somebody who's young for sake of being young alone. I know some young people who are senseless, who, if you give them whatever kind of position, they will mess it up. So the idea should be what the person has, credibility. Not just the fact that the person is young. Of course, if you have two credible persons, one is a 40-year-old, the other one is a 70-year-old, one could say, okay, let's give the young guy a chance, even though the 70-year-old will have plenty of experience to come with. So for me, the tag is just like all this issue of rotational presidency. I've never liked that kind of a thing. If a good president or somebody who has something to offer the country and who's running the country very well wants to stay there for 30 years, I don't mind. So long as you're running the country well, things are moving well. No problem. The idea of rotating is my turn is what brings room for corruption. Is my turn, you go in there and you're only thinking about is how to make money and plunder the whole place. So that idea should, I don't support the idea of just supporting a candidate either because it's from somewhere or because it's young or something. No, I don't believe in that.
That's a good note to leave it on. That's true, Sha. I mean, I pray we get there one day. Since now we always believe in prayer and as Nigerians, I pray we get to that point, where we will overlook ethnicity, religion, young or old, and just focus on what that person can actually do or what he or she has done.
Yeah,
We'll get
I
there one day.
think I think this is the journey to get there. These dialogues are important. Us
Mm,
coming here to talk is very important. This has the power to shape public policy in Nigeria because you don't hear these type of views being aired out on national TV. But
Fact.
these type of views are important. There are a lot of people who subscribe to what we say and our thought process, and
yeah.
we all have the same goal: is to make that country a better place, to make
Mm,
it what it should be. It should be a great nation, one of the greatest nations in the world. And I
mm,
agree completely with Uzo when he said that it shouldn't be about the age of the president. It should be about the age of the president's idea.
yes.
Once we start looking at it like that, we're gonna make progress in that country. How can you
Yeah.
just dismiss the older men? Your own father, wherever he is also an old man. Are you saying your father is not wise? Or what? What is wrong with old men? Who raised you? Was it not an old man that raised you? So your father is slow, is what you're saying. So you look at the age of the ideas. There's a lot of old men who have coped through the times. They understand what the young people are going through, and they've lived in the past, and they are still living in the present. They have a vast wealth of experience that we cannot attain. We just don't have it now. With time, yes, that's how you build that type of experience. America will produce old presidents back to back, not a mumbling word about it from Nigerians. They'll be supporting and praying for him. But let Nigeria try it. The wall will come down. So I don't think just going for Yahaya Bello just because he's young. No, you have to look at his track record
Yes.
because look at all the governors and all the prominent politicians that were at the center stage of politics in Nigeria when Obasanjo took over. Most of them were around the age of 45. Look at the governor. Most of them were young governors. But what's
Uh-huh.
the track record? That's what we need to look at. There's been young people that are involved, but unfortunately, we have a lot of young people that are well adjusted to injustice. They are just waiting for their own turn to oppress
That's
and
true.
continue from where they learned it from. That's all they are waiting for. They are
Exactly.
looking for a come up. That's all they're waiting for. So
It's now startup.
we might fall into that trap of, oh, not too young to run, forget these old men. Yes, these old men have been doing bad. There's also record of it. but that should not exclude a candidate because it's old. That's a very backward way of thinking. Young
Mm.
people need to come together. But now it might happen before 2023, but at the trajectory I see the young people going is opposite towards progress because young people need to first come together and understand that they are all going through the same thing. Whether you're in Okrika and don't even speak English, or you're in Borno or Katsina, or you're in Abeokuta, or somewhere in Boko in Benue State. It doesn't matter where you are in that nation, in that country. My bad. We haven't built a nation yet. We've succeeded in building a country. We are yet to
Mm.
build a nation.
Mm.
So
That's true.
everybody in that country is facing the same thing, especially the young people. 70% of Nigeria's population is under the age of 40. So they are the majority. Politically speaking, politics is all numbers. They have the numbers. But why? They successfully subscribe to the divide and conquer tactics of the same oppressors that they are waiting for to say we are tired of oppressing you, to tell them we're tired of power, we're tired of having control of everything. Come and
Mm.
take over from us. That's exactly what the young people are doing. The young people in Nigeria are the most self-entitled groups of people you can find in the world. We just claim because things are not going well, okay, just kick these old people out, put us there. There has never and there will never be a vacuum in power. You
Well,
either take power or you are not coming close to getting it. How do you take power? Come together, speak with one voice, build an economy with each other, get with the money from that economy, purchase land, get into real estate. With that real estate, then you have a voice, then you have something to speak for, then you have something to represent. You don't own land, you say you want self-determination. What are you determining when you don't own the land there? So we have to get out of this self-entitled mentality, go out there and hustle, unite, hustle, use that money to, and then you will need protection for what you have owned. That's the land and the businesses you've built. How do you protect your land and your businesses? It's through politics. There's only one way and one way alone. It's politics. You use that money that you've built, that you've amassed from your businesses and working with each other to buy or rent politicians. If you don't have enough money to buy them, you rent them. That is the definition of politics. That's how politics is played in the most developed, as you like to call them, countries in the world. That's exact. Lobbying is a proper
Yes,
profession.
that's the word. Lobby.
Lobbying is a profession here. Matter of fact, you have to have a degree before you can even practice it. That's how serious they take it. That's how serious that's what politics is all about.
It's true.
so you are
Unite with
trying, are you saying they are,
unite. I repeat, unite with people who have the same struggle as you. They might not even speak the same language as you. The more, the better. And the faster you will grow that economy, and the faster you will see the need to protect that economy. Because if you do not protect or show the capacity to protect what you own, you did not deserve to get it in the first place. Protecting it involves politics. You have to find a politician, find whatever manifesto that politician is using. If it aligns with your manifesto as a group, that is your politician. Find a way to buy him or rent him. When he gets in power, the policies will favor you. Then the businesses in your regions can get tax breaks. Then you can start paying low or free tuition where you are. It is the elected representatives that are there that you put in. How are we mad if somebody else is telling them what to do? They put them in. We didn't do nothing. That's what I mean by entitled. We're too entitled. Something we didn't work for. These old men are busy traveling left and right all across the country, having meetings at 1 a.m., 12 a.m. while we are sleeping. And you have the These
But
people are
when
putting
you
in
say
work.
when you
No,
said lobbying, it's a profession. Are you directly saying that bribing, as we call it in Nigeria, has been institutionalized and legalized in the name of lobbying, or they are two different things?
no, they are
No,
all the same.
we we
Oh,
we
wait,
we
OJ.
we learned corruption from the West. That's where we learned the art of corruption. We are too sloppy at it. That's why ours is being reported here and there. We don't even have enough names for it. All we know is thief. But here you will see embezzlement, you will see money laundering, you will see all they're all thinking about they're all talking about the same thing as thieves. As to the lobbyists, yes, lobbyists is a form of it's a form of paying your way through getting to what you want. That's what lobbying is.
The
Isn't
thing
that
is,
what bribing is
So
too?
the
you
thing
should
is,
Isn't that what
define it.
bribing is too? Isn't that what bribing
Yeah,
is
that's
too?
all lobbying is, and it's a profession. The West
Oh,
cannot survive without lobbyists. It's a
you mean it
profession
cannot
that you
survive
have
without
to be
bribing?
trained. You have to be trained to even think of becoming a lobbyist.
the thing
All
is what
right.
you understand, huh?
Uh, yeah, I think Uzo wants to,
So
wants to
if
sign off. Black League, I think Uzo wants to sign off, so you allow him to say the last word so he can go. He's go, okay. All right. Black League, go ahead.
yes, so if democracy is what we choose to go for, which we've already chosen it. So if we want to keep it, we have to make sure we understand it. So how is that even for a foreign word, lobbying, when the developed countries that that gave us democracy, that we copied their democracy word for word and everything, we copied everything from them. If they are using lobbyists. They cannot survive without lobbyists. That means lobbying is a part of the democratic system. So if we do not even understand the basis of democracy, we're still using ambiguity to define democracy. Oh, government by the people, to the people, for the people. You keep just repeating the same thing. You don't really know what it means. Then I think we should find something that we all can define and understand it to each other. Because as it is, the majority of the people don't even understand how democracies work.
The thing is what you need to understand. These people, when you come to Nigerian politics, they I don't know. I think somebody needs to advise them. They need to upgrade in doing
MJ,
their.
MJ, wait. I think Uzo is back. You want to say drop your last
Okay.
word, Uzo?
Yes,
But
even though we've hit 2 hours now, I was saying
see,
my
that's what I'm saying. That
no,
conversation will just keep going. That
the
before you
thing will
know.
soon go. But what Black League is saying is the fact. At least I've observed it enough to know that it doesn't fall within the same category as bribery. Okay, let me tell you why. Okay, like now,
Okay.
if for instance you're driving along the road and you're flanked by a cop and then ask for your papers or something, and maybe you don't have it and you just want to escape the consequences, giving him maybe $10 or maybe 500 naira, that's bribery. You're trying to maybe escape something, or at times maybe even to get certain things when you go to an office and give somebody a little tip. But you see,
Okay.
lobbying, especially when it gets to people who formulate laws,
But
legislators, like
also
capital.
on that police stuff. So how can you differentiate that act from the man who will give you tickets and still end up paying down same money at the end of the day? Because come at the end of the day, the two men took my money. The Nigeria
Mhm,
policeman will say, "Give me the money." No one won't go through
mhm,
that hustle because to me, ticket going to come na hustle. The man say, "No worry,
mhm.
no go through that. I give my money. Give me the money." This man say, "No, you have to go through that same hustle and still pay the money." I
And
mean,
one of them is wearing a camera on his chest.
exactly.
So everything is recorded.
Yeah. So anyway, I wouldn't want to think that he's acting well just because.
No, me now. Let me see
But
myself as a victim here. My money is gone. Either way, my money is gone.
yes, but see the difference here. The difference now is that when you lobby politicians, you are pushing them to the direction of the policies you want them to support and formulate for your own, either for your own area, development of
Right.
your place, development of your business, or for advancement of anything.
Well,
And
most
they
of us,
have
we dey
to
do
have
an outside
the
patient check. We dey ask for personal help. Take this one, abeg. Carry my children go abroad. Take this one,
School
abeg.
fees.
Give me my so that's what we do instead of asking for the totality of the community
nobody
or the
nobody
constituency that
nobody
we.
nobody lobbies a politician just for something, a petty need. It's usually something big, either something about your constituency, but most of the time it's to still sustain yourself in power. Even this movie, Distinguished Gentleman, Eddie Murphy and what's this name of these people who acted in it? Where Dick Jones was, I think he was the head of a particular committee in the Senate. So you would notice at the time he was trying to get in, they did plenty of lobbying to try to get him. All they had to do was just you open up a charity and then they contribute to your charity. It's not as if they are supporting your charity, they couldn't care less about what your charity is about. But it's a way to say, okay, we are giving you this so that you toe our line. Because legislators are the ones who more or less formulate what happens. By the time these bills come, the amount of politicians you're able to lobby will determine whether these bills are passed or they are not passed. So even if you have a good policy that you feel, no, I don't even need to lobby anybody. After all, the politicians should understand this thing is for the good of the people. No, no, not necessarily. If you
You
don't
might.
lobby them, they will throw it aside. Except if, for instance, it is being sponsored by one particular politician who has something to gain. By gain, I mean popularity on his own self to gain by sponsoring that bill, and he pushes it forward without any lobbying. If not, you have to lobby for any bill that goes that passes through the Senate. That's normal. It's not seen as bribe. It's normal thing. They people who do that are called lobbyists. But the thing is that it's part of the political process to get certain bills passed, certain policies formulated, so that whatever you have in terms of business development, growth of your area, anything, you'd have it moving. So I align with Black League in that regard. But you see, in Nigeria here, most of the time, because even the politicians themselves, or even the people who lobby them, let me even use the word lobby, don't have an agenda for the good of the people.
That's what I said. Now I said that they lobby for their own personal
Yes,
gain.
just
Say
for
my
their own
children, they
personal,
do this to me. Yeah.
selfish, senseless things like that. And that's why you find that even in the National Assembly here in Nigeria, you find that hardly would you have sensible bills being passed that would maybe that will support or maybe help or aid the development of any kind of industry that will benefit the people. You'd hardly
Well,
find such happening.
PIBB just passed now petroleum industry bill, and they are all smiling that they has opened the sector up for private investor, international investor, and what have you.
But
Even though even though there's
the
a
bill is about.
huh.
That's not the only thing the bill is about.
Yeah, so
There
that's what I was. Even though they put another clause on it, which is by extension what they are giving the host community, giving the
yes,
3%, even though they ask for 5, I've been at 10%. So
yes, and that's why I like the American system. They practice true federalism there, and if only we could do such here, you find that certain regions will now have to go back and develop their places. Okay, phone door off.
oh yeah, well, um, Black League, are you still there? I think
Yes, yes,
Abi
but
MJ, you have
I'm
a final.
I'm about to go out.
Yeah, just drop your final thought and we regroup again, inshallah. I mean, you
Well,
want on that now. The support for okay, well, you are from what you are saying. I can deduce that the youth should just not necessarily focus on Yahaya Bello just because he's young, but necessarily what he has to offer.
yes, find a candidate, old or young, see whether their manifesto aligns with what you want. Form a group. You don't play politics on an individual basis. Your group has to be large enough where your voice speaks loud. Your group has to be united. The young people have a chance to create the largest political group to cut across the 36 states because they all have similar aspirations. So if they're able to realize and unite and align with a candidate that would favor what their aspirations are, And that candidate, old or young, whoever they could find that in, they should go for it. And I think that, the conversation about you should go in that.
Right. That's a good place to live it. Gladly. Come
Thank you.
around.
See y'all later.
Thank you.
Engineer MJ.
Yeah. In the house.
Well, good to see you here. For you, no chance for Yahaya Bello, so there is no even point I'll say Moku canvas for
See,
him.
let me tell you something with that man. See, he's a young guy. Hmm? He needs more advice, and he shouldn't think maybe it's Kogi. I think that guy believes that Kogi youth will fight, will come out and vote for him for presidency. That's what he's thinking. You understand?
I mean,
You
he
have
was able to bring peace to the states.
Yeah, but you have one state. One state can't fight 35 states for you to become president. You know, it's impossible. It's completely
He has the
impossible.
president by his side.
Let me tell you something. Forget about he has the president by his side. If Yahya Bello wants to become famous in that country, listen, social media is there. It's an organization that people watch it worldwide. You understand? If Yahya Bello wants to pull crowd, wants to come out for people to vote for him, there are very, very easy things to do. He should have started his campaign, let's say 2 years ago or 1 year ago.
Well,
The reason
he has to secure it the second time first before.
so think about the second time. You see, the second time is that's where the wahala is coming from. Listen, there are very, very easy way to become something in that country that people will be happy to vote for you in. Number one, let me be honest with you. If I'm in Yahaya Bello position, right, regardless of anything, I'm a young guy. I'm youth. Let me classify myself as in position of Yahaya Bello as a youth. What this guy needs to do, regardless of anything, go around Nigerian states, meet the elders, meet the youth, organize like a forum where they will be throwing questions regarding the governance of all this and that. You understand? Youth want to know more. People want to learn more. Yahaya Bello can do that. He can sit with people, interact with people. Guys,
I mean, I
youth,
think, I think there's time. I think he will do that, and as I said, he still is having governor.
when time wait for nobody.
No, he's doing that. He's bringing the young people around him. He
Young
has
people,
bringing a lot of
you need
footballers. He's
to
bringing
listen.
musicians. He's bringing art. Those are
Before
people
this
that
guy,
young people can relate with.
no. Come on, Ove. Before this guy will start all this kind of thing, there are things we need to understand that you have to go to visit some states, the state elders, visit them. We know if you're visiting them,
He's
obviously
doing.
you
But they are
buy.
coming to him now. The men are coming to him. Adebody, what's his name? Adeboye was there to see him. Fanika or the few others were there. I think some of the royal fathers too are
And
also
what
going to his
about
place. So
traditional leaders? Has he
he
ever
will.
traveled? Hmm?
No, he go to but no, if not that one,
So
what's his name? He's an
a-
humble, he's a
apart
gentleman
from
to the
that,
core, so he can.
apart from that, has he ever sat down and organized like discussion with youth?
He will.
Hmm? You see, this is what
He's
you
bringing youth now. He has brought
it's
Michael
not the shop.
Obi. He has all those people. Those are people
The
that are
youth is
youths.
bringing all these people, they are just international body youth. We are talking
Uh,
about home base. You
with
understand?
time, with
There
time, I
are
think he
home
will.
base. This guy needs to work along with them.
I think
He
what I
has
will do,
to
MJ, what I will do, I will try and get in touch with with his team to see if they can
think
get them to listen to you. I
you're
think
working with
you
Bello.
have one or two ideas to send to their team. So I should to his team. I should.
If only my account will smile, I'll
No. I
do the.
mean, there has to be contact first before
But honestly,
before that
there
one
are
comes.
easy
So
way. I keep telling you, there are easy way. Social media is there now. You understand?
that's what I'm
Everybody
saying.
Everybody are happy to partake. Listen, if Yahaya Bello should organize like, okay, I'm going
You
to
know
Abia,
what? I will get him on this platform. How about that?
get him. honestly, I will personally speak to him, tell him what youth they want.
No,
You
but
understand?
first, I will first of all let him know that you said he cannot become a president, so that he will
Of
know.
course, of course, of course.
All right, man. MJ,
You,
we have exceeded the time that you recommended. We have exceeded that, so I have to let you go, and hopefully we'll regroup again tomorrow.
no problem, no problem. And
I
thank you
appreciate it,
very much.
man.
No
Thanks.
worries, man. Anytime, anytime.
Believe you, bro.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Thanks.